Okay. No, my books! Welcome to my September TBR. I have about 9 books planned, but let's just say there's a high chance things will not go as planned because A, I'm a mood reader, and B, I do not know if I'm gonna go into a reading slump. But anyways, let's get into the video. The first 3 books are the Shadow and Bone series. It's a trilogy and the only series planned for this month. And it was highly recommended by my chemistry teacher and I'm quite excited about it. It's a fantasy series set in the nation of Ravka. It was once strong and powerful until the near impenetrable darkness along with the human-eating monsters tore the nation into 2. The FMC is called Elena Starkov. I am pretty sure I'm reading that wrong. But anyways, the FMC Elena Starkov, who claimed to be not good at anything, reveals the power that has been dormant within her for years. And this power may be the key to free her country from wars. I am quite intrigued, so I hope I like it, but even if I don't, it's fine because I love the cover. So it won't be a complete loss. Next up, we have the most anticipated read of the month, Katabasis by R.F. Kuang. She recently released this dark academia fantasy novel towards the end of August. And this is about where 2 PhD students took a trip to hell just so they can save their professor's soul. And he can come back to life and write their job recommendation letters. Not that I'm currently doing a PhD degree. Even while applying for university, the act of hunting down teachers to write recommendation letters was just an interesting experience. And let's just admire the cover of this book, and more importantly, the sprayed edges. Like, look at it, look at the color, look at the contrast between the blue and the red. Yes, very excited. Either I'll read Shadow and Bone series first or I'll go straight into this standalone. Next up we have Heir of Storms. This was published back in June, I think, and it's the first book of the Stormweaver's trilogy. The cover is again gorgeous. It's in a colorful shade of blue, if you know what I mean. And even though this is a paperback, it also has sprayed edges. Look at the pink. Obsessed. The pink really complements the blue of the cover. The FMC is called Blaze. She's a ring singer and was born into one of the most powerful fire-wielding families in the Empire. And her birth summoned a deadly storm bringing thousands of people down. She's been hidden away ever since, but one thing that no one knows is that her power disappeared the same fateful day. And she is not sure if he wants it back. However, one day, Blaze and her twin brother Flint got pulled into battle to compete for the throne of the future empire, so she was back into the spotlight. She started to explore her untapped power, but in order to have a full grasp of the throne, she'll have to leave behind the stories others have told her and begin to write her own.
Sounds so deep.
It says, an epic romantasy for fans of Twin Crowns, Throne of Glass, and The Hunger Games. I've never read The Hunger Games or The Twin Crowns, but since Throne of Glass is mentioned, I am 100%, no, 1000% down for this book. Next book is called The House of Hollow. This was gifted to me by my friend. I am loving the flowers design of this cover, and this is a standalone thriller fantasy, I think. The FMC is 17-year-old and her name is Iris Hollow, and something happened to her and her 2 older sisters when they were children because they all have an identical half-moon shaped scar at the base of their chin. Sorry, her throat. At the base of her throat. And however, they seem to have lost their memory from their childhood. Iris Hollow has been trying to hide away the weirdness in her life, but when horrible things started to happen to her and her sisters, she gradually realized that the only way to save her sisters is to figure out what really happened to them as children and the origin of their half-moon scars. I have never read anything from this author before, so quite intrigued. The next book is called Quiet: The Power of Introverts in a World That Cannot Stop Talking. This is a non-fiction book. I know I deserve a round of applause because I literally never read non-fictions. But this is a non-fiction novel that emphasizes the importance of introverts. They're the ones that prefer to listen more rather than talk themselves. And the author, Susan Cain, argues that the world has dramatically undervalued the introverts. So I am INFJ. I am 63% introvert, which some could argue that I'm an ambivert, but I understand the idea where extroverts seem to take loads of the spotlight, especially when in a group project, etc. So this book really caught my eye when I was in the bookstore. I bought this book in London Waterstones, and I really like the cover design because even though it seems to be like a blank page of nothing, the title, can you see? The title was made by shiny material where even though it's in white, it still stands out from the rest of the cover. Also, I thought it was time that I should start reading genres that are outside of my comfort zone. My comfort zone is basically fantasy, romantasy, sometimes romance. So yeah, I hope I like it. The next book is called A Fate Inks in Blood. The reason I bought this book was quite straightforward. Let me quote from the blurb. Bound in an unwanted marriage, Freya spends her days gutting fish but dreams of becoming a warrior and of putting an axe in her boorish husband's back. Like, how can you not be intrigued? I bought this book back in April and it's been on my TBR every month since, but every month there seemed to be something more interesting to read. It just never made it to the top, and in the end I never managed to read it. But hopefully I'll get through it this September because I'm actually very interested. I just need some kind of motivation, if you know what I mean. This is also the first book of a duology, I think. So if I enjoy reading this book, well, you know what this means. A book will already be added to October's TBR. The next one is another short fantasy standalone. It's called Midnight Library. I just feel like the cover of this book gives off a soft fall vibe, and the length of this book is not very long. I think it's not even 300 pages. It's like 288. So hopefully this will be a cute, soothing fall fantasy read. It will probably be like a nice book to be used as a break in between like other heavily action-based fantasy books or series. The book Midnight Library is about the Midnight Library. It's set to help Nora, the FMC, to undo all her regrets and her mistakes. The books inside the library allows her to live as if she has done things differently. And just as she thought she could finally work out a way to live a perfect life, she put the library and herself in great danger. So before time runs out, she must answer the ultimate question. With infinite choices, what's the best way to live? And would she be able to fix everything before time runs out? And that's all the books I planned for this month. Again, I might read something completely different from this list, or I might go into a reading slump. I don't know. Let's see in a month. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!